Elon Musk's satellite internet service, Starlink, is part of his company SpaceX and is designed to provide high-speed, low-latency internet access worldwide, especially in remote and underserved regions. Here's a breakdown of its usage, key features, and global impact. What is Starlink? Starlink is a satellite constellation aimed at providing broadband internet globally through a network of low Earth orbit (LEO) satellites. Unlike traditional satellite internet that relies on a few geostationary satellites, Starlink utilizes thousands of small LEO satellites, which reduces latency and improves connection speed. Key features of Starlink. 1. High speed. Starlink offers speeds ranging from 50 megabits per second to 250 megabits per second in most areas, with premium users getting speeds up to 500 megabits per second. 2. Low latency. Latency, the time it takes for data to travel from your device to the internet and back, is significantly lower with Starlink compared to traditional satellite internet. Typical latency for Starlink ranges between 20 to 40 milliseconds, compared to 600 plus milliseconds for older satellite systems. 3. Global coverage. The goal of Starlink is to provide internet access anywhere in the world, including remote regions, mountainous areas, or rural locations where terrestrial internet infrastructure is limited or non-existent. 4. Self-installable equipment. Users receive a Starlink dish, nicknamed Dishy, that automatically aligns with Starlink satellites. The equipment can be set up by users themselves, making it easier for people in remote locations to gain access. Usage scenarios. 1. Rural and remote areas. Starlink is particularly beneficial for regions with limited or no access to traditional broadband. For rural users in places like parts of Africa, the Arctic, or remote areas in the US, it offers a reliable solution where fiber optic or cable internet isn't feasible. 2. Disaster relief. Starlink has been deployed in areas affected by natural disasters, such as hurricanes or earthquakes, where terrestrial internet infrastructure has been damaged. For example, it has been used to restore internet access after hurricanes in the US and after the war in Ukraine. 3. Military and emergency services. Starlink is also used by military forces and emergency services where secure, portable internet connections are needed in remote or conflict areas. SpaceX's ability to rapidly deploy Starlink in these settings has made it invaluable in crisis situations. 4. Mobile and maritime uses. Starlink has expanded its services for mobile users on RVs, ships, and airplanes, offering satellite internet even while on the move. The Starlink Roam service is targeted toward those who frequently travel to remote areas. Starlink's global impact. Bridging the digital divide. Starlink has been lauded as a game changer for bridging the digital divide, the gap between those who have access to modern internet infrastructure and those who do not. This is especially important in developing countries and rural regions. Economic development. By providing internet access to rural and underserved areas, Starlink can enable economic development, giving people access to education, remote work opportunities, telemedicine, and other essential services. Space debris concerns. One of the major concerns with Starlink is the risk of space debris due to the large number of satellites being launched. SpaceX has developed procedures for deorbiting satellites at the end of their life cycle, but the increasing number of satellites in orbit raises concerns among scientists and regulators. Global reach. As of 2024, Starlink is available in over 60 countries and is rapidly expanding. Some regions, like Russia and China, have either restricted or limited access to Starlink for security reasons. Looking ahead, Starlink is continuing to expand its satellite network, with plans to deploy 42,000 satellites in total, far more than the current count of around 5,000 as of 2024. It also plans to increase speeds, lower costs, and extend coverage even further. Elon Musk's Starlink project is rapidly reshaping how the world connects to the internet, especially for remote and underserved communities.